Good evening, all of you. Warm welcome to Emertxe's course demo and placements journey webinar. We typically host this webinar on every month towards the last week of every month. So mainly for students who are already inquired with us, who are already in touch with us, either you registered with us in some website or social media. Some of you might have already spoken to some of our counselors. So this particular webinar is to basically give you more information around our course. That is not the only agenda. We also talk a lot about how the industry is heading, where are the jobs. Definitely given the current situation where there's a huge recession that's going on, where the jobs have become scary, right? And then even people who are getting jobs in the campus, they're not getting offer letters, right? So many challenges we are facing. So in this scenario, how our electronics and the semiconductor industry is heading, how it is shaping up during the recession. So we'll talk about that, and we'll also talk about some of the success stories of how what our students are achieving even though there's a recession. Then we'll talk about the course, how the course is going to get delivered, and especially the online course, because when you want to do embedded in the online space, you'll have a lot of challenges. Will it be as effective as offline, right? And how do I seek doubts, clarify my doubts? How do I utilize the hardware, etc., etc.? So we'll discuss about all those things. Third one, we'll again come back and discuss deep about placements, how the placement work, placement process, how it happens, and how one individual can go about obtaining the placement during this particular course. So these are the three segments. As I said, first one is about the job market trends. Second one is about the course related details. Third one is about placements. So that's the overall structure in which we've been having this presentation. So as and when you have questions, please feel free to type, because I don't want this to be a 1:n, right? It's not about a class. It's more of a webinar where we want to make it as interactive as possible. And for me, if you ask me, majority of the slides remain the same, except from few placement data updates and some success stories, right? Pretty much the remaining contents remain the same. So for me, the most interesting thing or my motivation, because sometimes students ask me, sir, how are you able to present the same slide every month, right? Yes, our similar slides every month. For me, the most motivating factor is your questions. Okay? The more interesting questions. Sometimes people ask very tough questions, right? Very, very smart questions. So those questions is what gives me the motivation to do this webinar every month. So I request all of you to ask as many questions as possible. It may not be that very complex question, or it may not be very highly technical in nature. Anything that comes in your mind, you can just go ahead and type it in the chat window. So I try to answer in between also, and ensure that by the end of the webinar, we're able to answer all your questions. Okay. So that's the overall protocol and how we are going to run this particular webinar. So the first portion is always about introduction. As you all know, Emertxe is an EdTech company. We've been in this education for more than 20 years now. As an organization, we have two faceted goals. So one is mainly to bring in employability or improve the employability among fresh engineers. As you all know, India has become a country of engineers, where every year, more than 1 million, that is more than 10 lakhs engineers are getting passed out every year. In that, very minuscule percentage of them are having the employable skills. So majority of them study engineering theoretically, get good grades, right, and they're very studious in the college, but still they don't end up in jobs. Okay, so that's the reason why we thought there's a way to make the education very much hands-on. Whenever you're learning technical things, right, you can see the picture there, hand making pot, right? You can only learn technical things when you do in a practical manner. So that's the way we deliver all our courses, be it embedded or IoT or full stack web development, to ensure that the students are getting appropriate skills. And once the appropriate skills have been obtained, definitely getting into a job becomes very much easy. Okay. So that's a goal that we have by targeting students. Right? Second thing is, not only students, we also train working professionals. So we have a lot of people who have got the job. So we also work with working professionals. As you all know, somebody get into a job, but the job may not be something what they really like. Students after doing engineering, let's say in electronics, but they end up in job in technical support or some IT type of profiles where they may not like it. Right? So we also work with them more on an upskilling model, where they kind of take our courses in the evening mode, and then they change the skill set and achieve transition into embedded industry. That's what we do as an organization. So talking more about us, this is about our leadership team. Three of us are part of the leadership team. Mr. Mas is the founder and the managing director of the organization. He's the one who started Emertxe in 2003. And we have Mubeen, who is our technology head, and my colleague Actually, unfortunately today he could not join. He's on a personal travel. So, I will only be running the entire webinar. Typically, you see some of you, even in our posters or in our past webinar, right? We kind of take turns, right? Some portion I handle, some portion he handles. But this time, alone, I'll be handling the entire session because he's on travel, right? So we three are part of the leadership team, and we are about 150 people company based out of Bangalore. And talking a bit about myself, I born and brought up in Tamil Nadu till my schooling in a place called Erode. I could see people from Coimbatore come there. So I studied there till my PUC or +2. Then I went to NIT Warangal. It was called as Regional Engineering College or REC Warangal. Then it was part of Andhra before the Andhra Telangana split. So I studied there BTech Computer Science, and then I came to Bangalore in the year 2001. And I've been staying in Bangalore for almost like 23 years by now. So that's also my years of experience. I have around 23 years of experience. So this 23 years of experience largely can be into two segments. First, around 10 and a half years, I spent with 12 and a half years. I spent with three different organizations, working as a software engineer, embedded engineer, senior engineer, lead engineer, like that. To started my career with a company called Ishoni Networks, working on broadband networking area. Then I moved on to HP, Hewlett Packard, where I was part of the inkjet printer team, working again on the connectivity and networking protocols and firmware. I was there for quite some time, 7.5 years I spent with HP. Then I went to Huawei Technologies, which many of you know is a Chinese telecommunication company, where they had a goal of unifying all the products into operating system called Linux. So I joined as a senior manager, where my team was involved in customizing Linux for various, Huawei's target platforms. So that's what I was doing in 12.5 years. Then the question was, what next, right? So that's when I thought, I should be really doing what I really like. Education has been one of my passion in two ways. One is when as I said, I grew up in Erode. When I went to NIT Warangal, that was a big jump for me. I got a very high quality hands-on education out there. That's when I realized, right, I was one of the fortunate ones to get that. But how many similar students will be there in towns and these smaller portions of India where I grew up, right? So that was one particular inspiration. Second one was I always wanted to do something on my own. Okay, own means like being a part of the company level ownership and all. So that's what happened in form of Emertxe. So me, Mas and Mubeen are owners of this organization. Three of us own this as a leadership team. And of course, I'm really liking whatever I do, because the education is something very close to my heart. Okay, so that's the background about our team and where we come from. And basically, if you look at Emertxe over the years, in our 20+ years of existence, we built a strong partnership or collaboration with placement companies who hire our trained engineering students, or trained students, you can say. Okay? Pretty much you have almost all the companies in this domain covered with us, be it startups, be it some mid-sized companies, be it MNCs, or India-based companies which are big, for example, L&T, right, Tech Mahindra, etc., right? So that's a kind of a portfolio that we have built. We have more than 1,300 placement companies in our portfolio who continue to hire our students, and I'm very proud to say that among those companies, more than 80% of them are repeat recruiters. That means they come here and then they come and take the hire our students on a continuous basis. So that way we establish a very good reputation with these hiring organizations who continue to hire our students because of the skill set they gain as a part of the embedded systems training in Emertxe. So this is the one partial list, I would say. Whatever some of the logos I could collect, I put it here. But you can check out our website to get latest up-to-date data on what are all the clients we keep on newly adding, right? What are the companies came and hired, etc. All those information will be getting from our place from our website, or even for that matter in social media. So now, as I said, we'll get into the real core of the discussions now. We are done with the introduction and stuff like that. The first point is about job trends. So what exactly happening in the job market? Right? At a high level, if you see, the recession is there, big time. So what is recession? Recession is a period where the economic activity shrink because of many reasons. If you ask me what is the reason for recession, I may not be the right person to answer, because that requires an economist or a policy maker type of a person to come and explain. But in a very layman's term, how do I understand recession? Recession means, right, basically the spending comes down, right? Economy slows because of that, because when an economy want to be healthy, somebody should spend. Everybody should spend. The more we spend our money, then only the entire cycle gets kickstarted, right? So here, what happens? The spending reduces. So because of it, everything else gets reduced, right? In terms of recruitment, in terms of new investment from the companies, growth plans, everything goes for a toss. So typically that happens. Recessions last for 18 months, 24 months, 12 months sometimes, depending on the nature and cycle of the recession. But definitely we are there in the recession. So in this scenario, I'm sure a lot of questions will be in your mind saying that, how do I make a career in this particular situation, right? And how do we build a long-term career? Not only just getting into any job, how do we build a long-term career, right? So one answer that I want to share before we get into that is only thing that you can do in this scenario, because many other parameters are outside our control, right? For example, how can we regulate some governmental policy level decisions, right? How can we control some politicians, executing certain things with an agenda, right? We'll not be able to do anything. But what is there in our hands is nothing but doing a skill building. In fact, I would say every webinar, right, ever since the recession started, okay, recession is a great time to do skill building. Okay? And this is like, in my career of 23 years, this is the fourth recession we are seeing. As soon as we passed out in the year 2001, there was one, right? Then 2008, there was one. And then, during COVID, there was one, right? And now again, as an extension of COVID, you can say one more, recession has come. So what I learned in these four recession or three recessions in the past is nothing but recession is a great time to do the skill building. Okay, and that also leads to another question there. For example, Shubham is asking a very interesting question: will AI take away embedded systems jobs or only software jobs? Okay, that's a great question. Okay, in fact, that gets asked in most of the webinars that I run. Okay, will AI take away jobs? Yes, I would say it's already taking away jobs. Okay. Will AI take away embedded jobs? I don't think as of now. Okay, in future, I cannot predict, but as of now, it is not. In fact, I would say ever since the AI come into picture, in the combination of AI and embedded, there are new companies that are getting created. For example, building a layer of intelligence. What is exactly AI, right? You basically get a data set, you run some mathematical model based on that, and do some predictions or insights, right? In a very simple term. So now that every device is getting into digitized, they all have a lot of data. So the combination of AI and embedded is creating more jobs. In fact, some of the companies, I don't have the logos here, is little older slide which is shown. Some of the companies which are hiring our students, they're already AI companies. So in summary, I would say ever since AI is stepping into the mainstream, with respect to the embedded system, the job prospects have only become better. The reason being, okay, the nature of technology is quite complex. Right? The AI, just like that, cannot come and replicate. For example, there's a mundane task, some Excel cleaner. For example, today look at jobs like data analytics, right? So they are under relatively major threat because of AI, because the data analysis that we want to do as a human being, today we get into any generative AI solution, be it an OpenAI based or any other, every company is releasing a Gen AI based platform. Now, you can very well get it done from using those models. That is not so easy in embedded systems, because you're adding a customized hardware, and you need to basically create a customized software for that. Okay, so that's the reason. I think more questions are coming up from people like Pooja and just hold on, guys. I'll run some slides in the first section, then I'll take up your questions, right? Since I want to set the tone for the question and answer, I just taken the Shubham's questions. Others feel free to type. Okay. Now coming back to our topic, right? This is what recession is all about. So because of the recession is there, okay, it is affecting the jobs in the market. Okay, and definitely our domain, the embedded system domain, is also going through a lot of challenges, because not compared to last 2 years, this year, even if you take with respect to companies in the placements, right, the companies are coming down. But relatively compared to IT or any other technology, or relatively compared to any other institutes that are running the embedded system training program, we are doing far better, both in form of the number of companies coming, also number of students who are getting placed. Okay, so that way definitely there is a bad news because of recession, but there is a good news because the relationship that we have over the years with the companies, they continue to hire. Okay, so that's the overall update, right? Now let us further look into the other aspect, right? Leaving the recession apart, right? Anyways, we discussed briefly about it, right? Leaving the recession apart, this particular segment, okay, basically the basically the electronics and the semiconductor and the device sector, where our jobs are going to be, right? If you look at all the jobs, all the companies are hiring from us, they're from the semiconductor and device sector. And that sector, if you ask me, is poised for a very good growth. If you look at last 4 or 5 years, it's growing at around 9.8% or 10%. In the coming 4 years, it is expected to be kind of growing in a double digit. Okay. So this is mainly because India has become a very good talent pool for the world, and so far we've been doing only software. Now we are also establishing capabilities in manufacturing, design, etc. So what companies are saying is, right, instead of doing many different pieces in different countries, right, we're going to do everything in India itself. Okay. So government also is pushing a lot for the electronic manufacturing, semiconductor manufacturing, etc. Due to some of the challenges that we are facing with China, right, this particular segment is poised for a very good growth, irrespective of the recession. Okay. So this, if you ask me, further boil down to how they're boiling down to jobs, right? So if you look at as of now, the overall device and the and the semiconductor jobs, 65% of the jobs are with software, embedded software or embedded systems, and also 35% is with VLSI or the chip design. Okay. Going forward, the embedded system will further grow. It will become 70%, and 25% will be with VLSI, and then you can see 5% is AI. Right? I think that's where the questions is coming. Right? So you can see that AI jobs are already there, where in the combination of embedded systems and AI, more products and more use cases and more solutions are getting designed and discovered, where you guys can have a career. In fact, I'm strongly recommending, if somebody can build a career in the intersection of AI and embedded, that's really good, because your career is really set. Because the future is definitely AI. I would say not future, the present itself is dominated by AI. Right? So definitely by combining that with embedded, you can really build a long-term career for yourself. When you say long-term, it's about 30 to 40 years, pretty much your work life. How much are you going to work, right? The entire team, entire term, you can very well grow by being in this part of this particular domain. So that's a high-level update about job sectors. So apart from that, what it means to you, I think we already discussed it, what it means to you for the students in Emertxe, right? So it's a great opportunity to build their careers, because if you see the electronics companies, right, they're fundamentally strong, because they take long time to build, both do an R&D and then product development, and then making it release to the customers, right, and then supporting the customers with various product lines, etc. It takes a lot of time to build a product in the domain of embedded systems. Whereas if you take a pure software applications, those applications are relatively faster to develop and faster to close down. So because of this nature, right, these companies are fundamentally very strong, and even though recession is there, right, these companies continue to hire. Always we get a question: why do these companies are hiring even during the recession time? Why they are growing? Okay. It's because the companies are working on a long-term projects. For example, you take a case of an electric vehicle, right? You take a case of building a smart camera. So these type of projects take years to build, and not on the other hand, if you take a pure software application like a web application or mobile application, they can be built faster. So because of the long-term nature that these companies are having, product that these companies are building, definitely, right, they're having a lot of opportunity. Just because of recession, they cannot stop the product development. They need to continue to do that, right? So that's the reason why you will see, right, in this particular domain, still jobs are there. And finally, boiling down to the number of placements, again, this graph we've been showing in every webinar, every induction class. So earlier, if you look at 22 and 23, right, I would say we had a very good ride in terms of number of companies which are visiting Emertxe. We always used to say that 100+ companies come every month, right? In our case, in 24, the January was good, but if you look at February, March, and April, right, we kind of started seeing a dip there, 61, 63, 61, and 52. Okay. And then in May it picked up again, it went to 75. June looks okay. As of now, we have another 10 days, right? There are 31 companies this month. Okay. So as we said, right, definitely there is an impact because of recession. Okay. So in Emertxe, we keep all our placement data transparent, from day one. We are very much open about it, right? Even if it's a good news or not so good news, we openly tell to the students. The current scenario is that definitely the situation is not great due to recession. But having said that, this domain, as I said, because of the long-term projects that are happening, also because of the Indian advantage that companies are getting, they still continue to invest. It's not that bad. Okay, so still companies are coming, they're hiring students, right? And then given the fact that we give 2 years of placement support but all our students, and also with a very good set of mentors, we strongly believe that, right, you all can crack very good jobs, irrespective of the fact that the recession is running. Okay. So in summary, nothing to bother much. Okay, definitely to bother, but I think nothing to bother much of it. But as long as you kind of focus on skill building, as I already said, you'll be able to land in a very good job. So that's pretty much the story as of now, the first thing, right? Now, because of this, whatever I mentioned, I would like to demonstrate some recent success stories, what our students are cracking up, what our students are getting. I'll just flash it in the screen, whatever. Again, this is nothing but I just taken the information from our social media, right, just to show it as a sample, right? So here you see, I typically show the data in 2 or 3 categories, right? One is what I called as a fresher. When I say fresher, somebody who just completed the completed the engineering and then they have just joined the course, right? So they I would say more of a 2023 and 22 students. Because 24 they're just joining, they finish the engineering and then they're joining, right? So these are some of the recent success stories. I think it's a recent whatever our team has published, and as I said, I'm just showing only a snapshot. Okay, and if you can see our social media, we keep on publishing it on a very regular basis with the latest information. You can also get the same information from our website also. Okay, so what is happening here, right? Recent ones, right? We have students like Rangaswamy getting selected with Tata Advanced Systems, right, for a 5 lakh salary at the month of May. LG continue to hire our students. Their students like Jayashree got placed with KLE Technology, College of Engineering and Technology from Chikodi. She got with 7.5 lakh salary with LG. Okay. And then we have Chetan. Chetan is from PDA College, Kalburgi, Karnataka, in Max Linear, which is again one of the semiconductor or embedded based company for a 13 LPA salary. Okay. As I said, the LG continue to hire even online students, very good number of them. For example, Prashant. Prashant is from Saptagiri College of Engineering, Bangalore. He got selected for 7.5 lakhs with LG again, right? Data Wireless is one of our other regular recruiting company who has been hiring our students for the years, right? Where students like Venkatesh got selected for a 4 lakhs package, right? So as John Paul, right? So as Harshita and things like that, and then Anish, right? So this is just a snapshot, guys. I don't want to take it as a broad example, but specifically you can continuously see social media. We keep publishing, right? I just taken one of that as an example, right? So what I want to say is, companies which are working on these core technologies, they continue to hire our students. So this is one particular case. In the similar lines, what happens is we also get students who basically come to us with a career break. For example, people taken a career break due to many reasons, either due to personal reasons or they're professionally they wanted to grow, so they quit their current job. These students will have a career gap. And kindly note that most of the companies which are recruiting from us, they do not care about these aspects. They do not care about the year pass out or percentage or the CGPA or this year gap. As long as students are able to demonstrate the skill set to the companies, right? They don't care. Okay. So these are the set of students who achieve the success irrespective of some career gap. For example, you have students like Mohammed Najib. He got he resumed a career with after 3 years of break with one of our clients, Infinity Systems. Okay. Similarly, we have another student, Surya, again the 3 years of career break, right? He was able to get started with Smart SOC client, right? And then we have Manikandan with 4 years of career break. He was able to start with Lumas, right? So as Anita, after 3 years of break, able to start with, I think it's quite a Milieu Digital, right? She's able to get started her career with these companies. Then Apurva would start with Trana Systems or Trana as an embedded engineer, right? So like this, the success stories keep on growing. Okay. So what I wanted to say in summary is there are 2-3 points, guys. Just keep it in your mind. Point number 1, recession is there. We cannot run away from it. Right? Point number 2, even though recession is there, okay, compared to other domains, embedded is doing well because companies work on a long-term projects, right? And also compared to other institutes, right, we are doing quite well because of our long-term and sustained relationship with these companies. They continue to hire. Third point, I just showed some examples in two buckets. One is on the fresh engineers and another is on the career break. Again, the career break, somebody could be fresher or somebody could having be experienced. Whatever is the mixture they can come with, they're able to get a job even though they have 4 years of career break. Again, the reason why it is happening, when you go to an interview, the company will not ask why you have a 4 years of career break, right? There's no point. Unless you have a career break, you'll have, right? But what are the skill set that you're bringing into the table, which, based on which I can evaluate you and then I can select you. So these students could demonstrate the skill set during the interview and they're able to get placed with the companies, irrespective of the challenge they have, irrespective of the year of pass out challenge or their academic challenge. And some students even come from non-circuit branches. They even come from mechanical background, etc. They're able to crack the premium jobs or crack the core jobs with the help of our training program. Okay. So the broadly which I want to show you guys. So now what we'll do, we will pause for some time and let me probably put up some slide here. Okay, we are in the success story section. So let us start taking some questions. Okay, so I'm just turning on and off my camera, guys, because of the bandwidth. Yes, sometimes the tool says the network is slow, so I need to switch off the camera just to keep the audio quality. I think now it seems okay. So let us see some questions here. Quite a lot of questions have come. Let me take one by one. Yeah, I think Shubham already asked the question, will AI take away jobs? I already answered. Okay. Then you have Pooja Krishnan. Pooja is telling, I'm MSc Physics, final semester student, specialization in applied electronics. I decided to fix my career in embedded domain. So what are the things that I should do before joining the course? Nothing, Pooja. You can, again, this is what I tell, right? Students always ask, should I study something and come and join the course? I say reverse, come here and study, right? There's no prerequisite for that. It can be from any branch, right? Even students can be from MSc also. But important thing is, after you join, whatever mentors are telling, you need to follow that. That's the important part, right? And then we have Usha. Sir, for CSC students, AI and data science based internship are important. See, internship again, it depends, Usha. Internship again, a very sparse market, right? Internship is something which you need to, if you're building something credible, if you're working on some project, right, which you can showcase in the resume, yes, go for the internship. But many times which you are seeing that, right, people are doing internship just for the name's sake, to certificate some submission sake they're doing, right? Don't do that. Okay. Internships are valuable only when you really do something and learn something. Hope that's clear. Usha. Then we have Balasubramanian from Europe. Wow, with my father's name and from the same native place. I would like to embedded systems online course with placements. I'm working professional at core company with different shifts, morning, evening, night per week. So how can you fix timings for live classes for me, right? See, Balasubramanian will not be able to, modify the class timings as per your convenience, because our, especially for working professionals, right, the times are fixed, right? It's actually 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. is a lab every day, and 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. is a class every day. So 3 hours of engagement that we give. Apart from that, we also have the online support system where students take clarify their doubts using our online WhatsApp group, right? So this is fixed. So what I suggest is, if week on week, if the shift is going to change, we'll not be able to modify the classes. So we'll be giving you the recorded videos. You need to manage it, and that's also very difficult because our classes are quite intensive in nature. But doing something like that, you should be able to manage. You will not be able to modify the schedule. Hope that's clear, right? It's not like a day batch, right? Day batch we run multiple classes, even morning, different timing, different batch, and also it's not recommended that 1 week you have been the one batch and second week you go to the other batch, right? That's not possible. Okay. Hope that's clear, Balasubramanian. Any question? Feel free to keep typing. Gokul is asking, very good for the transparency. I think you are referring about the placement data, Gokul. Yes. Okay. We've been very vocal from the beginning. Whether good news or whether bad news, we tell upfront. And all these videos, anyways, getting recorded. It be part of YouTube, right? We put it in open YouTube. And I tell my students or webinar attendees, right, Maybe I'll change certain words, right, just for explanation purpose, right? But the information will always be same, because we've been 100% transparent truth we are telling, right? There's nothing to hide here, nothing to sugarcoat here, right? So even if you refer my old webinars, see last month, this month, what did I say, what I'm saying now, it will remain the same. Only thing is I use a different word to explain, that's all. Okay? Transparency always helps, right? That's what we've been known for last 20 years, and we continue to maintain that. If it is not possible, something we'll tell not possible, rather than telling a false promise and then eventually getting screwed up, right? We don't do that. So Shankar is asking, sir, after completion of placement training, how long we have the opportunity to attend the interview? It's basically 2 years, Shankar. So from the time you complete the course, you will be supporting for 2 years. But you don't need to wait till the course gets over. After the 4th month, our mentors will be running a placement eligibility process. As long as you clear the placement eligibility process, you can start applying for placements. Okay, hope that's clear, Shankar. Can you tell me about online class students? At present, I'm working in a company, sir. Yes, we'll talk about that, Utesh. Now we are just discussing the placement trends and answering some questions, right? Now next section we'll talk about the course, right? We will definitely talk about it. Okay. So how Emertxe is going to help for a working professional from a non-circuit background? As I already said, it's from from Jayakumar. So as I already said, those aspects doesn't matter, Utesh, right? There are two things here. One is every topic that mentors are going to teach you, it starts from the scratch. Whether you're from a circuit background, from non-circuit background, doesn't matter. That's point number one. Point number two, as I said, right? Good chunk of our companies are hiring, they do not care about these aspects. So they mainly care when they call you for an interview, can you answer that question or not? Okay? If you that answer the question, you are in. If you not answer the question, you are not in. As simple as that. Okay. Hope that's clear. Yeah. Okay. Manoj is asking, will embedded systems have good growth in the coming years like software? Absolutely, yes. That's what I showed in the beginning of the webinar. I'm not sure whether you've seen the screen graph that I showed in terms of job opportunities, especially in India. The future is looking really bright. I would say next 30 to 40 years. I'm not talking about 5 years and 3 years, right? Next 30 to 40 years, you can build a great career. Means assuming that you are starting in your early 20s, right? You're going to work for next 30, 40 years. Definitely, you can build a wonderful career as a part of this particular industry. Definitely, the future is looking bright. Then we have Lakshmi Narayana is asking, just a minute, yeah. I'm a graduate in EEE. Which one will be better to start the course? Python or embedded system? See, Python is a programming language. Okay, Lakshmi, it's just an element of it, right? Embedded system is a broad one. Okay, so you cannot compare, right? Yeah, programming language is a domain you cannot compare. But definitely, I can talk about embedded system where I mentioned about the growth prospects. Then Hemant is asking, any fee concession for this course? See, fee related, I would suggest you can talk with our student counseling team. I will just share their contact details toward the end of the webinar. You can contact them. They are the right people to answer related to the fees, right? Okay. Shankar is asking, yeah, I already discussed about how long the placement opportunity. Then you have Shubham, BTech from 2023, Odisha, want to join, but it's good to join online or offline class. How can I attend the lab online? Very good question. So joining whether offline or online, it's purely your choice, Shubham. Okay. As far as we are concerned, in terms of our course delivery, right, there is no difference between online and offline. Whatever students are learning online, the same effectiveness and same quality of delivery will be there for the online as well. Okay. How students will be able to learn online, especially when there is a hardware involved, right? And also how students can ask doubts online, etc., etc. I'll be sharing the information as we move forward. But nothing to worry, right? You can be as effective as the offline course in terms of that. Okay, so what we tell students is, right, it is up to you. Okay? I have students, for example, many students from Bangalore, right, who are from the same city. They take up the online course. And whereas I'm having students from Kolkata, we are having students from Assam, right, like you who are from Odisha, they come all the way traveling and then they come and take the offline course. So what we, from our side, what we tell, it is your choice. Whichever you prefer, from our side, okay, there's no differentiation. But personally, if you ask me, online is good because online, one of the other advantage that we get with us is the cost effectiveness. For example, somebody need to come all the way from Odisha or any other place, staying in Bangalore, attending our course, right? You see, Bangalore, the real estate or the rental accommodation, food is quite expensive. Okay? So when you are learning from online, right, basically you get an advantage in terms of price. You don't need to bother about your living, travel expenses, what you need to spend in Bangalore. So that way you can very well stay at the comfort of your house and then take up this course. Okay. Again, this is my choice, but eventually what the answer is a student's wish. Okay. I'm having students from Bangalore itself doing it online and getting placed. I'm having students from West Bengal coming offline and getting placed. So it's up to them. So you can decide, Shubham, whichever works for you and decide according to your wish. Okay. Then we have Subhranshu Patra. So do we need a high-end system? Actually, a 4 GB RAM laptop? Not necessary, Subhranshu. We don't need that much high-end. We need a decent one, because I'll tell you during the course part of it, right? Once students join, right, the first class that we'll be doing is nothing but the installation class, installing the Linux as a part of your laptop, right? So a decent laptop will do. I think a 4 GB RAM and all more than enough, because we'll be installing a Linux, and even after whatever you're going to install the tools, etc., they're like open source software. They're not that much heavy in terms of resources, right? So as long as you're a decent one in i3, i5 or above, that should be good enough. Okay, and all of them are open source software, licensed under general public license. You're not going to use any sort of hacked version or anything like that. That's the beauty of learning open source, and embedded together. So you'll enjoy using the latest software which are available in the net. You can install and then make use of it. Okay, yeah. Bharat is asking, Bharat Nani, what is the internal program structure such that when a student can attend for premium companies? I'll explain that, Bharat. We're not got into the course part yet, right? We just discussed about the overall placement trend part. Once I'm in the section 2, once I finish few more questions, right, we'll get into the course part of it. I'll explain those things, right? Okay. What is the minimum qualification? So minimum qualification, we expect people to be having at least a BTech degree, okay, or some cases an MSc in electronics and related fields will be good. Okay. And when it comes to BTech, we are open for all the branches. Okay. Pratik is asking, sir, to get a job in embedded software is easy or difficult? Definitely it is difficult. Okay. Nothing is easy, because when something is easy, right, then it will not be long lasting. Just think about it, right? Something comes very easy, but that will not come for long. So here I'm mentioning, right, you need to build a career for next 30 to 40 years, right? So definitely that getting a job is not easy. The technology itself is complex. That's the reason, if you see, right, for example, whether whichever town or city that you are from in India are attending this particular webinar, right, you will see different training institutes there. You'll see a Java training institute, you will see a .NET training institute, but you will not see an embedded training institute in most part of the country. Or even if you come to Bangalore, right, you'll only see 3 or 4 institutes offering the embedded systems course. So that itself says that both teaching the embedded system and learning the embedded system both are challenging. Okay, so that's the reason why companies are paying high, and you can have a long-term career. Okay, we don't want, as I said, right, whatever I speak, we speak the blunt truth. I don't need to hide anything. We don't need to basically make you feel something to convince you. Whatever the truth will tell. Compared to, for example, becoming an Android programmer or a front-end developer versus embedded system developer, right? Definitely embedded system learning is more challenging. Hope all of you are with me, guys. Okay. Can we get training certificate after the course completion of training? Yes, you get 2 types of certificates. I'll just show you guys. One is from the Emertxe, one is from something called Skill India. Many of you know. Both the certificates possibilities are there. Okay. What are the projects during the course? Abhiram, I'll explain that. Okay. Shreyans is asking how the labs are conducted. I'll explain that. Okay, we're getting into the details of the course now. Okay. Then Shah is asking, sir, if we take embedded IoT course online, how will you get hands-on experience with industrial-based microcontrollers? As simulator may not give much output than applying it physically. See, Shah, whatever the simulator that we are using, I'll just show you guys. Whatever the simulator that we are using, those simulators are as effective as you are using the board. In fact, the same source code which runs in the board can be run in the simulator and vice versa. Okay, so there's absolutely nothing for you to worry about using our simulators. You can very well use them. On top of it, if you still believe that, sir, I really don't get the kick of it, sir, I want to practice in the board, we can share you the link of the boards. You can buy and practice. And kindly note, the same source code which works in the simulator will work in the board also. Okay. Then we have Pooja here. So So the degree matter for placement, whether it is MSc or BTech? No, not much. Okay, some extent it could matter, especially between MSc and BTech. So in terms of preferences, because I still see that companies are going with BTech, but yeah, MSc students also get preference and they get jobs. Can we choose the batch for offline? No problem, as I already said, it is your wish. Okay, and there is nothing about batch timings and the batch dates, etc. I'll announce them towards the end of the webinar, the batch dates for the coming month. Right? You can you can just take a note. Any difference between online versus offline in terms of placements? Nice question. Sai Ganesh is asking, right? If you remember the previous questions when student asked, saying that sir, is there any difference between learning online and offline? I said no. The learning will be as effective as you are coming to Bangalore or you are sitting in, let us say, Gujarat or or in Rajasthan or in West Bengal. The learning will be same. But with respect to placements, right? There's a story here. Let me tell the fact. As of today, based on my recent analysis, whatever I have done, right? 55% of the placement companies, right? When I say 55% of the drives that are happening, right? So 55% of the drives we are doing, they're all happening in an online drive. When I say online drive, the entire selection process is happening online, be it written test, interview, selection. Okay, and kindly there's no work from home concept anymore. After you get selected, company would expect you to come and join, to the office physically. Okay. Remaining 45% of the companies are doing offline recruitment. When I say offline recruitment, either they call to their office location in Bangalore, or that sometimes you can also see social media. Some companies come to our location and then they hire. Now, you being an online student, what happens is there is a challenge that you may miss out this. Okay. And that too, what we are telling our student is, if you're based out of Bangalore, as I said in the beginning, if you're an online student, but you're attending the if you're based out of Bangalore and attending online, right? You can still go and attend this offline drive also. We don't mind. Not only Bangalore, for example, if you can travel, if you're like say based out of Mysore or Tumkur, right, or even for that matter Chennai, right, you can come overnight, 1 day or 2 days, stay here, and then attend the drive and go. We don't have any problem. Companies also don't have any problem. They don't care whether you're an online student or an offline student, right? But yes, if you're from far away from Bangalore, where the travel becomes not feasible, let us say you're from Pune, right? You cannot keep traveling to Bangalore. So what we're telling to the students is that, okay, utilize this 55%, attend it, right? In case we are not able to crack, you're not getting placed, what we are telling them is, after the course getting over, right? Let us say a scenario is there. One student is an online student, right? He's trying to attend these 55 companies. Let us say he got 10 opportunities, but he could not, get crack the placements, right? What we are telling them is they can come offline, maybe after the course gets over, stay in Bangalore, utilize all the companies, and then attend the placements. Okay, so that way, it gets balanced out. It's a great question. Thanks for asking that question. I think who is this? I forgot. Yeah, Sai Ganesh, right? Great question. Moving on, Chaitanya is asking, sir, is there any older batch for embedded offline batch other than June 25th batch? Okay, other batch, sorry. See, we publish the dates every month, Chaitanya. Okay, as I said, towards last week of every month, we form the batches. For this month, we are starting on 25th. Okay, so other than that, I don't think any other offline batches are there. Okay, you need to wait for the next month. Okay. Yeah, admissions are happening for that much. Fees and all, as I said, I already tell you, right? Timings, right? Timings, and then Om is asking, I joined 15 minutes late. Tell me shortly what happened starting 15 minutes. Om, you need to watch the video. Let me see if I can summarize later. Okay. Okay, then we have a career break. Prabhat is asking. Prabhat, I already showed you enough success stories with student with career gap of 3 years, 5 years, sorry, 4 years and all. In fact, we even gone to an extent where we place students with 11 years of career gap, right? So those things are very much possible. Okay. Then what are the projects somebody is asking? So any internship will be provided after completion of 6 months course? No, there's no internship concept here. Ours is purely a training and placements, right? Okay. Yeah, I think still a lot of questions are there. Some of the questions, oh my God, so many questions. Sorry, guys. Okay, my God. Okay. So what we'll do, I will pause here and then I move on to the next section because I need to, because some of the students may get, bored because, where you again getting into the Q&A only. So what I'll do is I'll pause here, okay, and then we will go to the next section and then we'll come back. Don't worry. Okay, we'll pick up wherever we left off because if we keep answering, it's already 8 p.m. right? I have quite a lot of contents to cover. Maybe we'll come back, and in case we are not able to answer it towards the end of the session, right? We can run complete questions. That way, I ensure that all your questions are answered. Okay. Let us switch back now. Let us switch back to the slides now, and then discuss about the second section, which is about the course. Because already many of you asked about the course, right? Okay, let us talk about the course now. Okay, let me go off the video, then talk about the course for now. Okay. So what is this course we are offering? It's basically an embedded system course. As I already told in the beginning of the presentation, our idea is to work on the industry academia gap, or the professionals who are having basically a skill gap, equip them with appropriate skill and make them employable in the embedded industry. So that's what we do as a part of our exercise. And we have three options. Many of you already asked a lot of questions about that. Okay. So one, what you call as an offline, course, right? So what we do is like this particular course. Many of you know, it is an offline course where students come to the Bangalore and then they attend. Largely, we see freshers take up this course because they completed engineering, or I would say they have the full time available for us, right? That's what is offline course is all about, right? Then we have online course. Online course, again, there are two modes that we deliver, what we call online regular and online evening, right? So the online regular one, the classes happen during the daytime. When I say daytime, both for for the offline this offline course, also about this online regular one, right? Classes run in the daytime. When I say daytime, for example, classes starts at as early as 7:30 a.m. Okay, 7:30 a.m. and the classes finishes somewhere. Class and labs finishes somewhere around 6:30 p.m. So this is what primarily happens for this and this. But for option 3, which is online evening batch, whatever is there, so here times are fixed. I think I already explained. Every day 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. there is a lab happens, right? And then 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. okay, the class happens. Okay, that's what happens in both the areas. Because this is mainly, if you see, meant for working professionals. Okay, whereas the offline and online regular, mostly fresh people take it, or college students have it because they have time available. Okay? But online, it's also taken by students, freshers, working professionals, because they have that flexibility. This is based on, there's no, from our side, there's no hard and fast rule here who should be doing what and things like that. But largely, this is what we do. Okay, I hope that's clear, because many of you are asking about the timings and all, right? So what happens is, depending on your batch, the time slots will be allocated, and then that will vary from batch to batch, module to module. But I'm just broadly giving what you should be prepared for. Okay, hope this is clear for all of you. Okay, if you have questions, please keep typing. I have a lot of questions in my window right now, right? I will come back and take up the question a little later. Okay, so now talking about detailed comparison, right? This is how you can compare these three offerings, right? Between online and offline. And again, online, there are two options. How do we compare these three, right? So here it goes. We're going to talk about the offline course, right? So offline course, it is a 6 months course. 8 modules are there, and 2 to 2.5 hours class per day, 2 to 2.5 hours labs per day. Here, as I said, right, 9:30. I just this is a little wrong here. I already showed you. It's like slightly old slide. It's not the right one. But as I said, they start as early as 7:30 in the morning. The labs and classes run till 6:30 p.m. You'll be allocated around 3.5 to 4 hours in the meantime. Okay. Again, in terms of weekly, you have classes and labs 6 days a week, right? And for the offline students, we don't give recorded videos, because anyways they're attending the attending the classes on offline, right? So they don't have any problem. They can very well, come and attend. For them, we don't give a recorded videos. But for online student, as I told in the beginning, including this particular webinar is getting recorded, and we'll be giving a recorded session. So that in case, worst case scenario, even though we don't recommend you missing any classes at all, right? Attendance missing is not okay, whether you are online or offline. But as I said, some of your working professionals have some shift issues and all. You can manage it using the online recorded session. Okay, so we have something called LMS, or learning management system, where we give all the recorded videos so that people can watch those videos and then make up for the missed ones. Okay, that's the whole idea. Okay. And with respect to hardware, when you are coming in offline, we'll be giving the board than pick and I think there's a question on that as well, where students will come, they check out, work on it while going back, they return and go home. Whereas if you're an online student, you'll be using a simulator. There are two simulators that we use: PixSim Lab for the microcontroller module. I have a small video which I show you after this slide. And similarly, for the for your what do you call the ARM, there is a simulator called Chemo. So we'll be using these things to ensure that you learn. And with respect to placements, as I said, both the courses have got 2 years placement support, but I already explained the 55-45 how it works, right? So this is a difference between online as well as offline or not. And online evening batch pretty much remain the same. Only difference here is, again, sorry, here there's a small correction here. I need to update the slide. Sorry guys, right? These all of them are 6 months course. 6 months course. Sorry, this is the old one. So here everything will remain the same. Only difference here is that the timings are fixed for the online courses. The timings are fixed from 7 to 9, and the lab happens between 6 to 7. Okay, so these are the differences. Don't bother too much worried about it, right? I'm just giving a brief idea. If you guys have more detail, you can contact our counselors. We can give a very detailed perspective of that. Okay, so other part which I already mentioned, every topic that we are going to teach you, we'll be teaching you from the scratch. Okay. So now what I want to do is to give you guys a sample or a demo. I have 2 videos to run. One is on the C programming, another is on the microcontroller programming, right? I typically we show it in every course demo webinar. Let me open it up and run it for you guys. Give me a minute. So let me go offline. So now I'll be playing the C programming video.
These are the total memory allocated. Now, after an array has been declared, maybe I want to give the values.
So go through this video. Everything is start from the scratch, right? You can just go through this. I'll explain later. Let us run the video.
These are the total memory allocated. Now, after an array has been declared, maybe I want to give the values into the array, because just the array's declaration will have garbage value. Assume I take int array of size 5. Okay, there has to be 20 bytes of memory allocated. Assume this is the 20 bytes of memory allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many bytes? Each integer takes how many bytes? Correct. So each integer takes 4 bytes. So if the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? If the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? Assume this is 1000. Where will be the next element present? Yes. Each of the element uses 4 bytes. So it is 1004, then 1008, 1012, 1016. To access the array's element, you have to go with something called as the index number. An index number varies between 0 to size -1. So very first element will be in index 0. Second element will be in index 1. Third element will be in index 2. Fourth element will be in index 3. And fifth element will be in index 4. Okay. If you just declare the array like this, the array's element will have garbage value by default. So in order to not have a garbage value present inside the memory block, Maybe I want certain values to mate sit inside it. In such cases, I have to do the array's initialization. To initialize the array, here inside the curly braces, I have to give 5 elements: 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. In that case, that value will be written here. That will be 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay, this is how I declare the array. This is how I do the initialization, and this is how the memory for the array will be allocated. Accessing happens with respect to the index number varying between 0 to size minus 1. See here, data type, name, size, where size represents the number of elements. So the total memory occupied by the array is number of elements multiplied by size of an element. That is in turn size into size of the data type. If this is the array I'm going to take of 5 size with the values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, this will be the array. So the very starting address of the array always is called as the base address of the array. This address 1000 will always be called as the base address of the array, or you can also call it as starting address or address of the very first element of the array. All of them means the same, but we usually refer it as base address. Okay, you can call it as base address, or you can call it as the starting address, or you also can call it as the address of first element. Okay, the starting address is called as the base address or starting address or address of the first element of the array. So then it is plus 4, plus 8, plus 12, plus 16. Index has to vary between 0 to size minus 1. So it has to be starting from 0. An array is a collection of similar data type. Elements occupy consecutive memory locations. First element will be in the lowest address and last element will be in the highest address. Elements are indexed from 0 to size minus 1. So if the size of the array is 5, index will vary from 0 to 4. Accessing out of the range array elements would be an illegal access. So whenever you have to access the elements of the array, you have to go with the name of the array, then the index number. Okay, so array of 0, array of 1, like this, you have to go with the index number. So if the index number varies between 0 to 4, I can access only between array of 0 to array of 4. Out of the boundary, that is accessing array of minus 1 or accessing array of 5 is not allowed. It is an illegal access where you might get to see a error. So accessing out of the range array elements would be illegal access. You should not access the elements in array of minus 1 and array of size. And once the memory for the array is allocated, it can never be altered in the runtime. That is, while executing the program, the array size can never be modified. So if you declare an array like this, it will be 20 bytes of memory allocated for sure. So this size can never be altered throughout the program. Again, here in double denum of size 6, there will be 48 continuous bytes already allocated. You never get a chance to increase or decrease the size once it has been allocated. So this is the concept of array. Clear this much? Okay. So have this one noted. The next we will see is how to print the elements of the array. Okay. So there are different ways of printing the arrays element, which we will be seeing shortly. Before that, have this one noted. So the next we have got is to print the arrays element. So when you are supposed to print the arrays element, we usually go with the name of the array and the index number. But that has to be done on a repetitive manner. So what is it necessary to be used? What is it necessary to be used if I have to print? Yes, loop is definitely necessary. So I can print the arrays element in any of a loop considered. Observe. Okay. So first I try printing it in a for loop. Int array of size 5. I also do the initialization with 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. I need another integer variable I for the sake of index. So I will first say it as printf arrays elements are. Okay. So I run a for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus, because 5 is the size of the array. Inside this, I go with the printf. Sorry. Yeah, so printf %d \n comma array's name with index. Okay, so first array of 0 will be printed when I will have a 0 taken, then array of 1, then array of 2, array of 3, array of 4. When I becomes 5, 5 lesser than 5 will be condition false. You come out of the for loop. Observe the output here. So I'm compiling and executing. These are the arrays element which I am printing using a for loop. Let me change this. I try printing using a while loop. So if it has to be with respect to the while loop, go with an initialization done for the variable I. Then you can have it taken something like this. While I is lesser than 5. So then you can print using the same statement. Okay. So this is how you print. Is this sufficient? Is this sufficient? Correct. So I plus plus is necessary to be done because I will constantly be 0 all the time. So 0 lesser than 5 will be true, array of 0 will be printed. Then it has to be array of 1, array of 2, array of 3. So I plus plus is required. This is how you print the arrays element using a while loop.
Hope that gave some idea about how our our classes are getting delivered in terms of for example a C programming. Can you get some responses? Did you get a view, guys? Because many of you asked, right, how my thing will work. I don't know much about embedded, etc. Can you get some responses, or you get an idea about how the class is getting delivered? Let me see some responses. Can you provide recording? Yes, this recording will come. I'm not talking about this recording. Whatever I just played, the C programming class, an example. Were you able to get an idea based on that? Can I get some responses? Did you get an idea? Because often what is the challenge? The challenge is like, will I be able to understand the classes? I may not be having the necessary background, or my programming is not strong, I forgot the programming and I'm not from the circuit branch, right? If you see our classes, right, it assumes basically a zero knowledge from the participant, right? That's a whole thing, right? Okay. Yeah, we'll provide everything. See, this entire video we'll give it to you. You can watch. So all I'm asking is, did you get an idea how our classes is going to get delivered? I want, some response for that. Yeah, offline batch, I'll let you know, Srilata. Yes, it was little slow. That's okay. See, slow is okay. Because if you make it fast, no, then people may not understand, right? We run it slowly only. So what is our goal? Let me tell you, Bharat, right? We want the slowest learner to learn, not the fastest one. Fastest one anyways will learn, right? So that way everything will be, taught from the scratch. Okay. So I have, one, okay. I have one more video similar to that, a microcontroller programming, where we'll be using simulators. I would like to play that as well so that you will get a complete idea. Okay, so let me play that now. All of you, please watch. Okay, the microcontroller video. This is an example of a microcontroller. Just watch.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. In today's class, let's see how we can write an embedded program to toggle the LEDs connected to the board bill. So now to write the embedded program, we are going to use the tool MPLAB XID. So you can see here. So this is the MPLAB XID. If you open this, you will see this as a starting page. So some projects are mentioned here, data sheet is available here. Even if you worked on some recent project, that list is available. See, and even you will get the microchip login. So if you have a login ID password, you do the login, and you can do the purchase on a microchip website, right? Okay, so now let me go back to the question. So question was, we wanted to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. So now here in this MPLAB ID, you can see these are the different tools available. So we can use these tools as per the requirement. For example, this is to create a new file. It's to create a new project. It is to open the project. This option is to do the build. You can see different many options are there. So as per the need, what we will do, we will take an approach. Whatever we needed, we will start using those things. Now here in this MPLAB XID, I already created a project and kept it ready. So project name is what? LEDs. So in this project, I created. So when this project is created, this MPLAB XID create some organized sections. You can see here. So now to write this program, to write the embedded code, we need a main.c. So generally .c files goes here in this source file sections. Header files goes here, make file will go here, linker script will go to this section. If you need any libraries, if you are planning to add any libraries, then those goes into this section, and finally this is the place for your executable file. So let me go to the main.c. So you can double click and open the main.c in the editor window. So now you can see I'm defining two macros. So instead of using port D directly, so what I did, since if you see the hardware on the hardware, so you are having total 16 LEDs. So this is the PiximLab simulator board. So it's having total 16 LEDs. So currently we are going to toggle LEDs connected to the port D. These are the these are the 8 LEDs out of 16. So these 8 LED array we are going to toggle. Toggling means on off we are going to do. So now since I'm having 8 LEDs, I'm defining the micro LED array as a port D, and to give the direction to the port pins, there is a register TRISD. I'm defining that with name LED array data direction register. Now you can see here comes my main. So here I'm calling init config function. So this function is to do the initialization. So what we are doing, so in main itself, we are not doing initialization. It doesn't look good. So there is a separate dedicated function to do the initialization. It is init config. So control will go here and here. In this init config, so initially what we are doing, if we are using LED, we need to set the pin direction as output. So I'm writing my LED array data direction register as a 0. It will set port D pin as the output, and to start with initially I will keep all LEDs connected to the port D as a off. So to turn off the LED, I need to load 0. So I'm writing here 0. So LEDs remain off, fine. And here comes our while one. So if you see any embedded system, once you turn on the embedded system, it runs forever, right? It goes into infinite loop. So here comes my infinite loop while one. So inside this while one, we are going to write our application. So what is our application? We wanted to toggle the LED. So here is my instruction to toggle the LED. So I'm writing LED array equal to tilt of LED array. So what it will do? It will toggle the values of this LED array. If it is 0, it will make it 1. If it is 1, it will make it 0. So now you can see. So this is what 0x00. So after execution of this instruction, this LED array value becomes 0xFF. So entire port becomes 0xFF. All port bits become 1. So all LED turn on. LEDs are going to be turned on. And here what I'm doing. So before going to this instruction once again, I'm putting the delay. So if this delay is not there, what happens? We will not be able to see the LED toggling. So it will happen at very fast rate. Due to the persistence of vision, we will not be able to capture it. So I added the delay. Then after this delay, what happened? Next time, since we are in the while one, control will go back here. So again, we are changing the LED array value from what? FF to 0. So now what happened? LED become off, then again delay. So like this way, we are making LEDs on, LEDs off. Fine. Now. So we have to build the code. We have to compile the code. How we can do? So here in this mplab xid, I install x8 compiler. So that's why this header file is also included related to the compiler. So now how you can do the build? So you can see here is one option to do the build. So let me click on that. It will start doing build. My project is getting a build. Now you can see build is going on. So it will take some time. Please wait. Now see, build is successful. That means your hex file is created, and even it will give you the memory summary of your project. So now my hex file is created and it is loaded also. Now what we can do? So we can load that hex file where? In this board. So we can run that hex file here in this microcontroller. So this is the heart of this board. So basically here we are using PIC16F877A microcontroller. So we are going to load the hex file here. How? So you can go to the file, you can select the load hex, and you have to navigate wherever your project is stored. So let me navigate. So now, just for the sake of simplicity, I kept the project on the desktop. So let me select that. Now again, you have to go to the distribute directory. So basically, you have to use this path. After build successful, it is prompting the path where X file is available. I'm just referring that. Then you have to go to the default production. Here is the X file. Let me open. Okay, expected output is what? These LEDs should toggle, but it's not happening. Why? Because these DIP switch related settings are not done. So to turn on the LEDs connected to the port D, this DIP switch, second one, you have to pull this switch up. So let me do that. So it's down. You have to pull it up. So let me select. Now you can see the change here. So what this program is doing, it's running in this microcontroller and it is toggling the LEDs. And even we are able to see that toggling very clearly, right? Okay, so this is our program, our embedded code to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. Fine.
All right. So that is basically our microcontroller module demonstration. So you saw the simulator, right? The PICSIM lab simulator, which exactly simulates the hardware, right? As I was mentioning in the beginning, whatever you are able to do it in the in the board, you'll be able to do it in the simulator and vice versa. You saw that simulator, right? And as I said, that's an open source software, pretty much lightweight. You will not have any issues in terms of using it. Okay, so that's what I wanted to mainly talk about when it comes to the classes. So what we'll do is we'll pause now and take some more questions, right? Then we'll again come back to the let me just put this slide, for example, if you guys want to know more details, right? Let this slide remain as it is. Okay, this one, sorry, yeah. So many of you want to know the difference between the courses. So let this slide remain. Now we'll take some questions. I see a lot of questions have come. Let me answer as many as I can. Let us see that one by one. Okay, let me go up wherever I left off. Let me start from there. Just a minute. Yeah. So there's a question from Hamza Shaikh. I think that's where I left off. After joining the course, when the placements will begin? I think that's also we'll talk in the subsequent slides now. That's what our next focus is going to be. But anyways, I'll answer this question now. So after you join the course, right, after the 4th month, our mentors will put you through something called as placement eligibility. Okay. So after that you can start applying for placements. Okay, 4th month, after the 4th month, right? And then after you complete the course for 2 years, you'll be able to get unlimited placement support. Okay, so that's how it works, right? Then Ankit is asking, in embedded which PCB designing, microcontroller, circuit designing included? No. See, our course, as you already saw, right, embedded systems, you can approach it from the hardware perspective or from the software perspective, right? Ours is largely focused on the software. Software means basically the coding, optimization techniques, right? Protocols, understanding. So that's the area we focus. We don't focus on building a board, designing a chip, right? That we will not focus. Okay, that's a different ball game altogether, right? Okay, so don't mix it up. And we don't teach chip designing either. Okay, hope that's clear. Okay. Guru is asking, so if you don't mind, what's the guarantee you are providing about the placements? Yeah, that's a good question, right? What is the guarantee, right? So, okay, I guess, recently there was the election time, some guarantees going on, right? So we'll talk about the placement guarantee, right? See, it goes like this, Guru, and people who are listening to the webinar, right? See, you guys joined the course, right? There is a process that we expect you to follow, okay, in terms of classes, in terms of attendance, in terms of you completing certain set of assignments and projects, right? Okay, as long as you're following that and also you are clearing the placement eligibility test, okay, definitely placement will happen. Okay, further we can give a guarantee. Kindly note, right? I'm in video now, and this is a YouTube also. It is getting played later, right? Okay, so I don't mind saying that, right? Provided you follow that. And there are many students, okay, who just join the course and expect the magic to happen. Okay. For them, we will not be able to give a guarantee. Hope you're clear, right? Because when you go there to the placement, we'll even allow you to go and attend sometimes, right? So when you go and attend, how do you prove yourself? If they ask a question, kindly note, who is the decision maker? It's not me. It's not our placement team. It's not our mentors, right? It's the interview panel who is sitting in the company who makes the decision, right? To them, if you are not following, on the contrary, when you are following all the processes and whatever the curriculum and other things. Like today morning, I was talking with that girl, right? She had, I think, 2 years of career break, and she is getting started with 11 lakhs of fixed and 1.5 lakhs of joining bonus. 12.5 lakhs CTC she's starting. This morning I spoke, right? But how she's able to do? She worked on 10 projects under me. Direct guidance, I was working with her, right? She was one of the top performer, right? She worked directly under me with a separate set of mentors, right? So if you're following that, definitely nobody can stop you. We can give you guarantee, no issues. But if you don't follow, nobody can guarantee. Hope that's clear, right? Guru, okay. Okay. What is the basic CGPA one should maintain at BTech? Okay, says Alekia. Erode Alekia she's mentioning. Okay, so we expect at least you to have a minimum of first class. That's good. But even if you are below 60, not a big deal. You still have companies who are hiring people who does not meet the 60% criteria. Okay. Then Preeti is asking, so I'm a third year EC undergrad. what course can be best for me? This itself is a very good course, Preeti. I would suggest you can start doing the course during the college itself. That's a great decision you can make, because by the time you pass out and come to the real job searching world, your skill levels will be way higher than your friends. So that way you can get benefit out of it, right? That's a great opportunity. Okay. Praveen Power is selling. So if you attend placements from Emertxe, do you have to take up aptitude and other rounds, or only face to face? See, this is again a question. There's no shortcuts. Okay. Okay. Anywhere you go, whatever the process that companies would follow, they will follow. You need to take it up. Okay. Just because you are going through Emertxe means they will not waive you off. Okay. Okay. Still, companies ask for aptitude. Our students have to prepare. There's no, but yeah, what happens because of the technical skills? You can, the probability of getting selected becomes higher with the skill set. That's what I would say. Yeah. Then we have Anjaneya. In embedded, we have different classification again, like MCU related, IoT related, Linux related, network related. Which is the best for me? My background, 2018 EEE, 2 years of experience in software testing. I want to work till 60 years of age. Oh, nice question, right? So see, this what Anjaneya is referring is a vertical. Okay, verticals, right? For example, networking is vertical, automotive is in one vertical, right? Okay, so looking from a longevity point of view, Anjaneya, at this point in time, definitely automotive is looking very promising. I'm talking about both the traditional automotives, whatever the petrol and diesel based engine, and also the new age automotive. When I say new age automotives, I'm talking about electric vehicle. So that domain is definitely looking promising. Okay. Followed by that, I would say your robotics is looking promising, because a lot of automation is going on for factory automation, or even humanoid robots are getting deployed in many places. That is looking definitely promising, right? Third thing, if you ask me, the networking, which people ruled out, saying networking is chala gaya, right? Now after the 5G deployment has come in place, right, a lot of opportunities are getting opened up there also. Okay, so these three are the verticals I would definitely bet for, and then definitely the AI and embedded combination, which I mentioned, right? If you can focus on that, yeah, you can very well look at from a 40-year career point of view. Okay. Ahmad is asking, so why should I choose embedded as a career other than please I'm confused, right? See, embedded is for somebody, if you're curious about problem solving, you are curious about making a hardware work with a particular functionality, be it a wearable, be it a robot, or any other functionality, any other hardware, and you want to have a long-term career. See, one of the important thing which I reiterated multiple times is, for example, if you take, I don't want to talk inferior about some other domains. Let us say, for example, web development. Right? Web development goes through ups and downs, right? Okay, sometimes it goes very high where people are getting very high salary. Sometimes it goes very low. See, here in this domain, you will not see such turbulence. Okay? Pretty much stable, right? The jobs are not very high like IT, where the job will go very high and very low, right? Even during recession, companies are hiring. That's what I showed an example, right? So if you're looking for something where you really want to challenge your problem solving and curiosity, kindle your curiosity, and want to build a career for next 30, 40 years, this is a great domain. Okay. Hope that clarifies your question, Ahmad. Okay. Kiran is asking which is better, Vector India or Emertxe? Again, that's a very interesting question that I leave it to you guys. Right? So far, whatever I can talk only about our organization. Any other institution, any other training providers, be it Vector India or any other training providers, right? I leave you be the best judge, and kindly know we have respect for all of them. Okay, we don't want to be in a fighting mode where we say we are better. That we leave it to you. Okay. Okay, we have a lot of respect for all the institutions, because they're all doing skill building and trying to improve the skill levels of the engineers. And in fact, we meet some of them in conferences also. Wherever we go, they also come. Right? We go there, we go say hi, and then say yes, we are we are in the same space. But personally, kya hai? Kya burai kya? Right? Just say hi, hello. We maintain good relationship. Okay? So we are a different breed of people, right? So we don't mind, because they're all contributing. Right? People, get trained and get jobs from there also, from here also, right? The choice is yours. But in this particular presentation, I can only talk about my organization, right? I cannot compare, because I don't know what the other organization. Some idea I have, but any idea, and it's wrong if I criticize or if I talk anything, especially bad, right? Okay, that's not correct. Let us maintain professional boundaries, right? And let us all, do the right thing for our, skill building area. That's how I would put it. Okay, Kiran. Great question. Right. Gokul is asking, so I completed ME in power electronics and drives. Embedded good for me? Absolutely yes. Right. Power electronics is a very much close to embedded. A lot of new innovations is happening. In fact, I was talking about my friend the other day who is into electric vehicles and all, where the battery charging and the type of batteries, right, is a huge problem to solve, right? Like in India, somehow we laid the petrol bunks, right? We are getting the gasoline thing, right? Petrol or diesel quite easily. But in order to build a similar infrastructure for an electric vehicle, it's very challenging because when you go from intracity and all, right, it's very challenging. That's why the power electronics is going to play a major role in terms of charging the batteries, right, or maintaining the battery charging stations and all. It's got a great future. So I would say power electronics and embedded are cousin brothers, both closely connected. So definitely you should look at for a career, Gokul. Okay. Okay. So I think there are some questions about placement eligibility. I already clarified. Doubt clarification I already explained. Right. When we register for an offline, can change to online. So there is an option, but these days we're not encouraging it because some students are utilizing it for their advantage, right? They apply for offline, then they shift to online, and they utilize it for some not so positive things. We have become a little strict on that. If the case is genuine, we provide. You can shift from offline to online, but we are restricting to a larger extent these days. Okay. Yeah, I think I already discussed, right? Yeah, course structures I already explained, right? Then Sanjay is asking, so is there any syllabus on RTAS programming? See, again, that's a question. See, RTAS basically the real-time operating system, mainly, which gives a response within a given time. That's why it's called real-time operating system, right? Okay, we do our course, the entire course based on Linux. And for your information, Linux that we are teaching, it is not an RTAS. There's a flavor of Linux called RT Linux, right? So that we don't teach, right? We teach a vanilla Linux. But to ensure that students are prepared for the interviews, right? We teach the real-time concepts in the Linux internals module. Okay, so we don't teach per se RTAS. We do a lot of OS based on Linux, but we teach the real-time concepts. So that is more than enough for you to crack the placements, right? Even though some companies tell us to teach RTAS, then we tell, okay, this is what we do: multitasking, multi-threading, socket programming, interprocess communication. Plus, we teach the RTAS concept because we're teaching in Linux, right? They're okay with it. Okay, so that way, it will not affect you with respect. Even though some of the students who learn from us in Linux, when they go to the company, they work on RTAS. It's absolutely possible. Okay. Which course is better for the CS student, right? Data science or any other course? Again, this is a tough question, right? Similarly, somebody asked about comparing ours with another institution, right? See, guys, end of the day, I keep telling in every webinar, if you can go and refer past webinars also, right? End of the day, you are the decision maker. Okay? Any domain you take, if you know the skills in depth, there are opportunities. Okay? I would even say today, I know some of my close circles I was talking about, right? Somebody knows the mainframe computing very well. Even today, there are opportunities. The problem is what? We don't go in depth. We keep on jumping. Okay, because everything looks attractive from outside. Someday AI looks attractive, someday ML looks attractive. I tell you guys, if you go and ask the real AI ML guys who are working, right, they will tell you it's such a challenging domain, right? So every domain has got its own pros and cons. Okay, I would not say go there. It depends on your interest. Discover that interest. Definitely, data science is also giving opportunities, right? Full stack web development is a great opportunity. AI/ML is a great opportunity. DevOps is a good opportunity. Embedded and IoT is definitely there. Right? There are a lot of options. It is up to you to decide. If you ask me, all the domains have got very good, provided you are good. Okay. Some people I'm seeing in the name of internship, they do 2 months of embedded internship, 1 month of full stack internship, 5 months, 4 weeks of Android internship. And how do you know? Assuming you're a cook, right? Learn one cuisine. You say, I know Chinese food, right? Or I know Indian food. In Indian also, you can say I'm a specialist in dosa, right? South Indian dosa, North Indian, let us say some, roti, right? Or a paratha, right? Become an expert, become a specialist. Definitely, you don't need to go behind the jobs. Jobs will come behind you. Okay. Course structure, I think I already explained. Syllabus, RTOs, I already explained, right? Okay, and Nafisa is asking, is it possible to do 3 months online and 3 months offline? See, offline to offline, we encourage. Some people may find it a little hard in coping up with online, right? We are coming to an offline, we encourage. But offline to online, we are not encouraging. As I said, no, students are utilizing for some, for example, they want to just lie down. They will tell their parents that they are doing an offline course. They shift to online, they will stay in hostel, udhar mauj masti karenge. They will not come to the center anyway. So that we are kind of not encouraging. Okay. So that's what I would say. Okay. Syllabus topics, I'll come to the module shortly. Okay. Placement drive already clarified. Okay. Hardware simulator already clarified. Okay. And placement guarantee already clarified. Okay. Finally, student, somebody's already clarified. I'm seeing questions asked by Harsh, Deepika, Gautam, Thompson, right? Mechatronics, can I do the course? Of course, yes. As I already told about power electronics, right? Mechatronics is also very close domain. Definitely you can do that. Okay. I don't know anything about C language. Will it be possible? Ask Venkatanarayan. I already told. I already showed the videos also. Everything is start from the scratch. So definitely we'll be able to crash. Online versus offline, I already clarified. Is the embedded used in electric vehicle? Of course, yes. In fact, EVs are one of the greatest example of embedded. I would even extend and say a use case for IoT. Right? Today you can see, right, everything is interconnected. So you're using an app, you can control the entire vehicle, right? Okay. Sai Krishna is asking, you teach from basic to advanced. I already shown the video. Yes, it is, right? So sir, I'm Hitesh. By taking the course in between, if I get placed in off campus, will I get admission feedback? No. Under no circumstances we'll give you feedback. Okay. If you are getting placed, it is you are getting placed. No. Who is we cannot be responsible for that. Okay. Okay. Suggestion for working professionals still willing to pursue the course? Yes, you can pursue that. I already told you. But for working professionals, my recommendation is prepare to work hard for a longer duration, because it's not easy. You need to manage your office pressure also, right? You need to basically manage your current job pressure also. You need to know how to basically manage both the priorities. Okay, so that's how I would say. Okay. Is there any difference between certification in online and offline course? There is no difference. Certification will remain the same. Okay. Everyone is eligible or eligibility criteria. See, you need to clear tab after the data structures module. Our mentors will create a placement eligibility test. You need to clear that. Once you clear, we'll open up for placements. In case we fail, we'll give an opportunity to reattempt, clear, and then you can start applying for placements. Why we do that? Because when you go prepared, your probability of you converting the job goes higher. That's the whole idea. Okay. I think pretty much I answered all. Yeah, let me just come down. Can fresher get a package between 7 to 10 LPA? Absolutely yes. I was telling you about today morning example. I met a student, right? 11 lakhs fixed and 1.5 lakhs, joining bonus 12.5 lakhs. We talk about today morning. I think our team will publish this in social media after some time. I'm talking about Garam. Today morning I got the news. I met her also, right? Okay. Okay. I think pretty much we clarified. Recording I clarified. PDFs I yes, lot of materials will give you. We have something called learning management system or LMS. All the materials will be part of it. We'll be giving you that, Shankar. Okay. Online class dates I'll share. Vaibhavi is asking. Okay. Rohit is asking, I missed some session. Will you give a recording? Yes, as I already told you, this entire video will record and give it to you. You can play and watch in case you missed some portion of it, right? What is the course fee for online evening? Venkatesh is asking. So as I said, fees, our counseling team only will be able to tell you. I would show their contact details towards the end of the presentation. You can get in touch with them and then clarify. Okay. Any recruiter from Pune? Ask Shriyans Gorpade. Yes. Okay. If you ask me from a recruiting company's point of view, right? Where do these companies come from? Right. Again, that also we did some analysis. As per analysis, again around 50 plus 55% is similarly as I said about the interviewing online versus offline, right? Around 50 to 55% of the companies are from Bangalore. Okay, they're based out of Bangalore. They expect you to work from the Bangalore location. Apart from Bangalore, we have companies recruiting pretty much from all over the country. If you ask me next to Bangalore, what is the most I have a graph. We did an analysis, right? Where and all they're coming from. If you show that, it will further delay our webinar, right? But on a roughly, I will tell you around 50 to 55% of the companies come from Bangalore, and then rest of them, if you ask me to categorize where the majority of them come from, definitely Pune is a good chunk of the companies. We have Hyderabad is having a good chunk of companies, and NCR regions. When you say NCR, it is like New Delhi, Gurgaon and Noida. That region is having the biggest chunk. Okay. Earlier, I used to have a lot of companies coming from Chennai. I think Chennai is moved more towards the SaaS or the web application or cloud application. More the engineering crowd has moved there. So Chennai, which used to be after Bangalore, Chennai used to be the number 2. If you ask about 4 or 5 years back, right? So that landscape has significantly changed, right? So I would say number 1 Bangalore, number 2, number 3 maybe Hyderabad and Pune here and there. Then comes NCR. Then we also have companies from non metro cities. For example, we have companies coming from Gujarat. When I say companies coming from Ahmedabad, embedded companies, right? In fact, there's a company called E-Info Chips. I don't know, some of the people from Ahmedabad may know, which is acquired by I think Aero Electronics or something like that. Now it's called E-Info Chips is one of our Ahmedabad-based recruiter. And some companies are coming from areas like Kerala. Okay, few not a big number. Some of them are coming from Kerala. Some of them coming from little bit on the east, not on the Kolkata side. Little bit on that. Little bit on the Mumbai and Thane area. Right. Even though Pune is a bigger chunk, right? I do see something from Mumbai also. This is roughly the distribution, but we have a data from where and all they're coming. This is roughly the data. But you can say at a high level, 50% from Bangalore, 50% from all over India. All over India, if you want to shortlist, Pune, Hyderabad, and NCR are the next 2, 3, and 4 questions. Hope that's clear. Sriyan Skorpade. Okay. Bharat is asking, sir, most of the companies are currently expecting STM32 microcontroller. Sir, how can we match the standard? See, this is again a question getting us. Sir, you are still teaching in the 8-bit or 16-bit. Companies are expecting 32-bit, etc., etc. Right? See, I don't know where such things are getting floated. When we speak to companies, they say the syllabus that we have, it is more than enough. Okay. If they read our syllabus, even though we may be teaching in 16-bit, right, it is more than enough, because they expect you to be fundamentally good by bringing in hands-on skills. Because anyways, when you go to the company, they need to train you on a customized hardware, because no company will release their hardware outside to test or release. Right? That will be proprietary for them. That is their IP, intellectual property, right? That is their IP. Okay. So that way, I don't think you should be bothered too much. I tell in all my webinars in the past also, learning microcontroller programming is driving a car, right? So you need to know how to use accelerator, brake, and clutch. Doesn't matter which car it is, right? You learn that very well. Then when you're moving from one car to another car, right? In fact, if you go and learn from a driving school, they'll be having some old Santro or old Tata Indica. That's where you push and learn the thing. Once you know that, suppose you later you move to Toyota, later you move to Honda, later you move to Mercedes, right? There'll be some differences between one to another, right? But the fundamental is you should know how to use accelerator, brake, and clutch. Unfortunately, I don't know whether you guys saw the viral video yesterday or day before yesterday. I think somewhere in Pune nearby area only, one girl with her friend, right? Instead of pressing the front gear, right, she pressed the back one. The Gadi went in the hill, and the Gadi fell and she died. So unfortunate to see that, right? So that is more important. Even though you are sitting in a ETOs, if you don't know which one to use, then it's a problem. So what we tell is, then they will end up in a disaster. What you are telling, right? What you're telling is, get very good in fundamentals, then you will be able to pretty much do everything what you want. So don't go too much about this microcontroller, ARM controller. That is like you are talking about, should I learn how to use a Mercedes versus Audi or a Toyota or a Honda? Don't bother about it, right? Know the fundamentals well, you'll be able to program any controller as you move forward. That is our focus. Great question, Bharat. RTOS programming clarified. Okay. Embedded systems are VLSI, which one is better? Again, this is another question. So what I recommend is, this is a very long question, right? To answer this, it's not easy for me to compress in a webinar. I request all of you to go and watch our Instagram channel. My team is running a series of reels or videos about comparing VLSI. I think even day before yesterday, one went live comparing the placement companies in VLSI versus Embedded, they're very different, by the way. Even though people use VLSI and embedded in a together fashion, they're very different. Don't compare, right? So kindly go and watch the Instagram videos. Our YouTube shorts also, I think they will be uploading. I think already some 4 videos they uploaded. You can go and check out. Okay. Very nicely put across, differentiating between VLSI and embedded. Okay. Okay. Shubhranshu is asking, the semiconductor industry is increasing very vastly in India, sir. Earlier I planned to filing for IT course, then I made my mind to stick to my core field. Then I was confused between VLSI and embedded. Now I think it's good to stick to embedded, because I think if VLSI increase, then embedded also will increase. Of course, yes, right? Okay, Subhranshu, right? I already showed the job distribution, right? Now it's like 75, 25 as of now, right? The job 70 to become 70, 25, and 5, the job distribution. Okay. But kindly note, I cannot compare embedded and VLSI, even though we are using in a similar terms, they're very different. Okay, it's very different. That's why I'm suggesting you, please watch those videos, you'll get a better idea. Okay. Then is the class start from the basics? I already answered, right? 2019 pass out, will I take and achieve career transition? Yes, you can, right? Detailed syllabus, I'll just explain that. Okay, career transition, there are some questions coming from Pavan, right? Laptop is must for an offline class. We recommend, because you can utilize it even when you go home, you can use it. But if you don't have laptop, we can give you a desktop from our lab, but it will be restricted. But if you have laptop, that's good. Okay. Okay, I think we just discussed. Okay, fee related, I already told you. Will be provided a hardware kit or only simulators in offline. See, when you are joining offline, we'll be giving you the board. When you're coming and taking from Bangalore, right? We have boards, the kit which you can use it. And once the lab is over, you can return to the team and then. But if you're studying online, you'll use simulators. Okay. Automotive domain is also main content in the embedded system. Yes, Abhiram, big chunk, big chunk. Today, if you ask me, in Emertxe, the recruitment companies domain-wise, vertical, we talked about the type of company, location of the company. Domain-wise, if you ask me, automotive is still going strong. Even though there's a lot of gaga going around EVs and AI and robotics, right, which will be futuristic in nature. But today, if you ask me, your traditional automotives, right, are the ones which are still selling like hotcake. The skills, automotive skills, right, and they're growing also very well. All those companies. So never underestimate the power of automotive. Okay. Okay. Then all right. E-books. Yeah, we give a lot of materials. Where will we get the recorded session? We'll email you, and we'll also put it in our YouTube channel. This class, right? Any recruiter from Coimbatore? I remember Gokul, 1 or 2 of them come in the past. There is still some pre-call automation or something like that. Then Lakshmi Machine Works came once, if not wrong, they had certain automation and embedded requirements, right? Not off late, but I remember. Yeah, I do remember something coming from Coimbatore. But one more thing, Coimbatore has got Robert Bosch, right? Which is one of the major, automotive player. Off late, they're in a freeze. They're not hiring from us. Okay, hopefully that opens up. Either directly into Robert Bosch Coimbatore, because I've been to Coimbatore recently. I see, right, Robert Bosch has a very big facility in Coimbatore, right? The other option is, right, there are some companies which hire our students and then they deploy in Robert Bosch Coimbatore. That is also happening. Okay, so yes, Coimbatore has got some presence. Okay. Yeah, Pranav is asking, apart from the technical skills, will core companies expect good communication skills? And if there are any assistance in that communication skills? Yes, we also have a good soft skills focus in terms of 1:1 counseling, communication skills, preparing for mock interviews, right? Self introduction sessions. We have a student success team who will be running those sessions. In case students want to work on their communication skills, we support them. Yes, that option is there. Okay. Danshi is asking, did we get industry ready certificate or certificate of recommendation after completing the online evening course? See, in terms of certification, we give 2 types. One is from us, from Emertxe. Shortly, I'll show you. We are partnered with National Skill Development Corporation, or NSDC, which comes under Skill India. We also get certificate through that option also. That is very well recognized, not only in India, even in global. Okay. That's about the your thing. Do we have embedded and IoT offline course? I think many of you are talking about IoT course also. See, IoT, it is an extension of our embedded course. There's some slight modification where in embedded we teach bare metal programming, whereas in IoT we teach little bit of a cloud and the integration aspects of it. But pretty much the 40 to 50% of the syllabus remain the same. Point number one. As of now, the IoT course we are only doing it online. Okay, offline we are not doing. Is autos are included in syllabus? No. Okay, Abhiram. Okay. Next batch date, Vijay is asking. I'll share you in some more slides I have. After that, I'll flash to the screen. Okay. Does my current experience countable? Okay. That is a question typically in working professional ask. Sir, I have some work experience. How the placement companies will consider? The answer is depends on the company. Okay. And depends on what type of experience you're bringing to the table, right? So we have various permutation combinations. For example, somebody coming from purely an IT application kind of a background, somebody comes from totally non-technical background, let us say for example marketing, sales, and we also had some of the assistant professors who are from academia come and take our course, right? And some of them have got relatively closer, to the embedded, like for example power electronics they work, control and automation they work, they want to transit, right? So it depends on where your skills is and how that skill will be usable for the new company. So depending on that, they will consider, and and there are cases where two students get placed from our institution. One student is considered as a entry level guy, and one student with an experience, right? They probably put you in a different salary level and then different designation level. It has happened, right? Okay. So you can also negotiate that during your interviews. We also allow that facility for working professionals. Okay, but it depends on the company. End of the day, the decision makers are they. Okay, hope that's clear. Okay, Utej. Yeah. How often does Qualcomm visit the institute, sir? Says Bharat. It used to visit Bharat. Okay, quite often. Again, due to the recession, the frequency has come down. Again, recently it got opened up. We even floated an application last week in the Qualcomm Hyderabad. We are, trying to. In fact, one of our alumni who is working there, in his team only openings are there. We are talking to him. Hopefully, it will open up soon. Okay, even now, I'm not talking about Qualcomm also. Even if you look at NXP semiconductors, in fact, compared to Qualcomm, NXP used to come even more frequently. We know we have we placed a huge bunch of people in NXP. Unfortunately, for almost like 6 to 8 months, if my memory goes right, they're not coming because they're under freeze. They're not even opening up even a single inch to do that, right? So that's as I said, right? Definitely there's an impact because of recession. Hopefully this lifts soon. Okay, we also want to see those days where we place more students in NXP, but we are on it. Our placement team continues to follow us. But instead of that, we also have some different type of companies. Of late, if you look at, right, LG has become very regular recruiter, right? Chelsea Communications become very regular recruiter. Wind River has come regular recruiter. Boeing is recruiting, right? And Ether Energy also recruited some time back. We're offering that 10 plus. Microchip has come last week, right? We're offering the 10 plus kind of a package. Okay, but semiconductors still, I think it has taken a very bad beating due to recession, including Qualcomm and NXP semiconductors. Hope we can bring them back, right? I'm also curious to see that Qualcomm opens faster. We are on it. Okay. Last week we floated an application, right? We are working through them. Hopefully we should be able to place some students there. Okay. Venkatesh is asking, choosing the path as A for future, whether it's good or choose embedded systems for electronics engineer. Please explain about embedded AI. See, AI, if you ask me, guys, it is touching everything. Okay, whether you like it, don't like it, okay, whether you believe it, don't believe it. A few days back, I was talking in my family. My mother, 70 plus year old, she was asking, what is this AI? She also keeps reading local newspaper. Can you explain me what AI is, right? So I can't explain technically. I said, you know what, ma? AI has become like a ghee or tuppa, nehi or whatever, right? Any food that you make, we put that, right? Whether it's a rice, we put ghee. Whether it's a paratha, we put ghee. Sweet, we put ghee, right? So AI has become an omnipresent, whether it is touching every industry. Okay, be it embedded, or be it aeronautics, be it finance, be it web, be it data science, any domain you can think of, AI is there. We cannot ignore that, right? Now coming to the embedded, as I already told in the initial period, right? Okay, a lot of AI companies are hiring for embedded engineers because, as I already told, the combination of AI and embedded is creating more products and more use cases. Okay, So if some of the students who are getting into that type of a work as a combination of AI and embedded, that's great. I strongly encourage. I would say they're lucky ones. They're still early stage of their technology, because AI as a technology is still evolving. Things are changing very fast there. It's not like stable like embedded, right? Things are changing very fast there. But if you get into the wave now itself, definitely you can ride it very well as you move forward. It's a combination of embedded and AI. Okay, that I encourage, right? But having said that, you cannot ignore AI. Let us be very clear. Okay, whether you like it or don't like it, it's already sitting in your pocket. Nobody can ignore AI as of today. Okay, so I suggest, right, you start embedded. Definitely, it's a great start. But if you can start in an embedded plus AI combination in our placement itself, okay, that's even great, I would say. Okay. So hope that's clear, Venkatesh. Is ZF visit Emertxe? Yes, they do. Okay, not on a recent thing, but yeah, they do visit. We place some student in ZF also. Okay. Are you teaching STM? I think I already clarified that. Honeywell coming regularly? Yes, comparatively, compared to, even though the registration part. See, all these companies, whatever you name, Qualcomm, MXP, Honeywell, Harman, Samsung, right? Whatever the names, your microchip, right? They were much more frequent during the non-resident. The frequency has come down, but they are coming. Honeywell, I think, I don't remember, if I'm not wrong, March, right? March they came. Maybe 1 month here and there, but they came. 2024, they came. Okay, they are coming. Okay, yeah, that's again, hopefully the market eases out a little bit. That's what I'm also expecting. Right? Great. I think I've answered all the questions, if I'm not wrong. In case I have few portions left now. Okay, it's already 9 p.m. Few more portions of the webinar left. But before I start back to my slides, okay, anybody, any other questions you can type. Work culture in embedded systems. My God. Okay, Sriyansh. So that purely depends on the company, Sriyansh, right? The technology and the culture is different. And we are only talking about technology here, right? The work culture purely depends on the company. What is the vision of the organization? What philosophy they believe in, right? It purely depends on the company, work culture. Okay. Any other questions? Shall we move to the third piece? I know we covered a lot about placements, right? We'll quickly touch upon. And then certification we'll quickly touch upon, then we are done. Shall I proceed to the last piece? Last small piece is left. Shall we proceed? Yes, no, any other questions? I hope I answered all. Because some question I skipped because I already answered, right? In case anybody feel your question is not answered, you can ask, no problem. There's a lot of questions. I saw everything, but I'm a human, right? I may miss something. Anybody? Last few portions, few more minutes. Don't worry. I know it's 9 p.m. dinner time. Stomach is already asking for dinner. Few more minutes. Shall I proceed, guys? I want some SS again. I want some energy. Come on, last 10-15 minutes. Let's hold up our energy. Shall I proceed? Looks like guys are hungry. Okay. Anyways, I'll proceed. Let us go to the placements again. We covered quite a lot of points. Yeah. Let us come to the last piece. So about placements, right? Okay, sorry. Placements. Yeah. So we touched upon placements. A lot of questions also we answered about placements. So let us come and see it in a little bit more process oriented manner, right? So how does the placement process work in Emertxe, right? Okay. First of all, you enroll for the course. Okay. And then, as I already told, after the 4th month, you need to clear the placement eligibility process with our team, protected by your mentors. That happens after the data structures module. Then you start applying for placements. Okay. So, and then we do the internal shortlisting and share the list with the company. And then companies also sometimes do additional shortlisting. You can do that. And then the process happens. That's where the handover happens between the technical team to the placement team as more modules are getting completed, right? The modules, the mentors will be there. Along with that, the placement team will start getting added in all the discussions, right? Which batch is the next one which is getting eligible for the placement, etc. So that way the handover happens. Then the placement team continuously work with you guys, okay? Until you go and sit in the company for the first day. Till then they'll be completely working with you. Okay? Here we already clarified many questions. What if you get placed before the course gets over, right? What if I get placed after? How long will I get a placement support, etc., etc.? I think we clarified almost all the questions, right? So that's about this thing, right? Right. So Google Groups, okay, and then some FAQs we already discussed. Yeah. Finally, a couple of things I'll show you guys, and then we'll go for the course demo. Let me share my screen. I'll show you our, I'll show you our Google group, how the placement drives are happening, how you will get to notify, what's happening in the placements. Give me a minute. Let me open my. So this is an example of our Google group. You can see there in the screen I shared it. Okay, one of our Gmail IDs. So this is where how you get notified. You can see there. For example, today, you can see there. Right from morning onwards, right? It's like 11, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You can see, right? Today, let us see how many got placed. For example, like 2 to 3 companies come almost every day. You can see there. And then, somebody got placed. Congratulations, messages are getting exchanged, right? And then the certification exam, NSDC exam is next going on, right? Other things, right? Again, you can see this. Lot of, things are there. And if I take an example, for example, today, I think this one was a good one which came today. Open Minds Labs. Oh, sorry, something. That, yeah, Max Clean Technology. Yeah, somebody was talking about AI. Look at this Gahan AI, right? Let me just, I think some messages are Gahan AI, let's say, for example. So if you see this, right, Gahan AI is an example of, AI and this thing coming together, right? Some road safety, this type of equipment. There's a combination of AI and embedded. It's one of the companies. Similarly, a lot of new companies are there. So everything will be communicated via this particular group. When somebody got shortlisted, right? You can see that pretty much, continuous microchip has come. American Megatrends came, GL Communications, right? Coding around, right? A lot of things like this, continuously, our placement team keep on working on it. Similarly, I'll just share you guys the certification part. Give me a minute. People are asking about certification. So here is a certificate. As I said, 2 types of certificates are there. One is from Emertxe, another is from NSDC, right? So this is an example of NSDC certification. Okay. Here you can see this is a level 5 certification for embedded software engineer designation. And kindly note, in order to get the certification, you need to go through the assessment by the ESSCA, Electronic Skills Sector Council of India. We are aligned with them. We are one of the training partner. We are one of the very few training partner who does a level 5 certification in India, because the level 5 is quite a high-end training. Our embedded and IoT comes at the level 5. And this is an opportunity, right? You can see it's coming from Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. I think even the recent ministry, I think Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan is the minister, if I'm not wrong. So under that, this entire thing comes, and this is a internationally valid certificate. Okay, people can show. Apart from that, we also give certification from Emertxe. Okay. So this is about the certification part. And people are asking about the dates. So these are the course dates for our for our embedded system this month in the in the month of June. For example, the offline course online course starting on 28th, and 25th is the offline course starting, and 2nd July is the online evening course starting. And you can see the contact details of our team. Training@emertxe.com is the mail ID, and 809-555-7332 is the number. It's a common number. When you call this, one of our counselors will pick it up and they will answer you. Anything mainly about fees, right? Paid, right? Installments, etc. You can basically talk to them. Okay. Definitely our team will support you. And folks who are in Bangalore, right? We are based in 3 offices in and around MG Road. Farah Towers is our main building, and we also have an office in in the MG Road itself. Slightly before that, people who are familiar with Bangalore, that's where I sit, and I also have one more office where I sit for a few more days. So main office is in Farah Towers, where the admin team, admission, everything, placement team, mentor, they all sit, and some other teams are distributed among these 3 offices. Pretty much reachable via metro, especially when people are coming for from outside Bangalore, very much reachable. And accommodation options also, our team will help you to settle down with PG or hostel. We have a list of PGs, which we have kind of shortlisted based on our experience. Of course, it's up to you. We don't run any of them. You can go and find what do you call, whichever the accommodation that you suits to you. Okay. And this is like our social media channel. Hope you're all following us. In case if you're not, we are quite active in LinkedIn and Insta. And that's a QR code, as they say, like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much what we are done. I think few more questions are there. Let me just take it up. Any concession in fee like scholarship? So please talk to our counseling team. They will be the right people to answer these queries regarding to fees. Okay, Pranav, apart from the technical skills, more companies expect communication skills. I think I already answered that. Okay, our team will help you. Our student success team, during the mock preparation, self-introduction sessions, etc., they'll conduct so that you can work on your communication skills also. Okay. Pranav, I'm justifying you. This is what we do. Are the certificates globally recognized? Yes, especially the Skill India one. Especially if you look at level 1 and level 2, where more of mass production or manufacturing line jobs are there. Definitely, people they get trained and they go to Japan and Middle East and all. But here also it is recognized. And not only that, I'm seeing of late, even the students whom we placed 4 or 5 years back, right, when they want to apply for some jobs abroad, or they're going for higher studies, right, they come and take up the certification test. So that way, definitely it's a valid one. Okay. How often companies 6+ LPA come to Emertxe? It depends, Aditya. Okay. Again, this is another question students ask me. Sir, can you tell when the Qualcomm will come? Right? Can you tell when that company will come? When this company will come? See, if you ask me, okay, every month do we get a 6+ lakh companies? Yes, definitely every month will come. If you ask me which company with 6+ LPA, I will not be able to tell. Okay, every month it changes, depends on the requirement. But yeah, premium companies do come every month. 6+, 7+, 10+, we do get every month. You get. Okay. Can we join directly without registration? I don't know what you mean by that. Otur, Glycia. There is a process, to talk to a counseling team. Directly you can join. Yes, you can do that. Okay. When does the July batch starts? Parvati, I think again our counseling team will be the right time. As of now, we are open for admission in June batch. As soon as the June batch gets closed, we close the admissions. We publish the July dates. You can watch out our website, our social media. You will get to know the dates. But roughly, you can assume that is the 3rd week, maybe around 25th here and there is where we start the batches. Okay. This is a paid or free internship. I don't know what question. First of all, it is not internship. I don't know. Overall, you heard, and finally you're asking me internship. This is a course. It's a paid course. Yeah. Shubham Pandit is asking what we choose as a E and TC engineer, software or hardware. Again, both the options are there. Okay, both the options are there. You can either choose hardware way or go to the software way. Both options are there. Okay. Similar to VLSI and embedded, what we discussed. Okay. Okay. Subransh, so continuously answering all the queries without getting disturbed. You have a very great patience levels. thanks, Subransh. Right? As I said, this is what I enjoy. Okay, more than getting patience level, right? ये मजा इसी में आता है मुझे. वरना क्या है, सेम स्लाइड में कितने बार बात करूं रे, कि मैं बोर हो जाता हूं, right? Your questions is what, that is my motivation. So that way I get more energy answering questions. You see, right? Automatically I get energy when I'm talking to you than running the slide. Okay, so that way I enjoy these conversations. So no worries, no worries, no creeps, right? Pawan is asking, sir, where we can find recorded video of this webinar? I missed some part due to network. I think I already told you. We'll email you this link. We'll put it in YouTube. My team will make little bit of cuts. In the beginning we discussed, right, which place you are from $1. That will cut it up. We'll trim it a little bit and put it in the YouTube. You can watch out from our YouTube channel. And anyway, they'll email also. Don't worry. Okay. Just wait for maybe 2-3 days for my team to process this video. They'll put it in the YouTube. Okay. Roshan is asking, sir, company asks for clear the aptitude questions. Will you teach us aptitude questions? Not necessarily. We don't run aptitude classes separately. Okay, we run technical mainly. But what we do is like, based on our past experience, what the companies ask, we do the question bank. We share them, frequently asked questions. In that, aptitude questions are also there, right? So that way you can prepare. But we don't teach you separately aptitude. We expect you to prepare that. Okay, because we don't have time. That's why. Okay. Aditya is asking, sir, do you have a son studying in Kerala? I think I seen you somewhere. Oh no, man. Okay, I don't have. I have only one daughter. She's very much with us in Bangalore, right? Maybe somebody like me, I don't know. There is a saying, right? 7 people are there in the world. Similarly, I don't know. Okay, but yeah, I do come from Tamil Nadu, as I said, right, where I born and brought up in Erode, which is again close to Kerala. But yeah, past 22 years I am living in Bangalore. Right? I do travel to Kerala sometimes, maybe for some family stuff, but I don't know anybody or any of my what do you call Jutua Bai or any other twin lives in Kerala. I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty much Bangalore based now. Okay. Aditya. Okay, great. Okay. I think kind of come to an end. Okay, still questions are there. Yeah, Rajab is asking which field has got better future scope, embedded systems or embedded systems IoT. Okay, again this again similarly you asked about VLSI and embedded. See, please note, embedded is part of IoT. So IoT is a broad umbrella. IoT has got any technology that you can think of. Okay, you can put it under IoT. For example, you talk embedded system is there under IoT. Okay? You talk about VLSI, you can say under IoT. You talk about cloud computing, you can say it's under IoT. You can say machine learning, you can say it's under IoT. You can see data analytics is there under IoT. Business intelligence under IoT. Machine learning under IoT. Mobile application, any technology that you can think of, you can attach to IoT. Because IoT is a broad integration of integrating everything, in which embedded is one important piece. Hope Rajab, hope you are getting my point, right? Okay. So what happens is, when you talk about career, what we say is that if you know the core embedded system, even if you look at from a recruitment point of view, right? When companies are looking for, they hire you for the embedded skills only. But looking forward to your career, it's good to have the embedded, IoT skills also, because today no longer the standalone embedded systems are reducing, because everything is getting connected. Even let us say a fridge is there, a washing machine is there, everything is getting connected. You put an app and you put a you put a AC and then an app, right? It becomes an IoT, right? So it's getting connected. So that way it's good to have a flair of IoT to have a long-term career. But I think I time and again reiterated, guys, don't get too fascinated about too many jargons, be it AI, be it ML, be it IoT, right? Take one technology, go in deep. Somebody asked it, sir, is data science is a great career? Yes, why not? But important thing is you should be good in it. You should know the depth of it. Then definitely career possibilities will open. You can study about many technologies, right? Okay, can I become a cook? Everything can I cook? Yes, I can, right? But you should become specialized in one area. Then only you can build a career on it. Okay, so always it's good to be like that, right? Okay, because definitely you cannot be master of all the cooking, right? I cannot be good in Italian, Chinese, Indian, Japanese, Mexican. I cannot be good. But you know everything. But choose one, go deep. That can be embedded. That can be IoT. That can be data science. That can be machine learning. As I already told you, it can be even mainframes. But if you go in deep, people will value. Don't go breadth. Breadth you understand a little bit. That's okay. But go in deep. That's what we recommend. So rather we say T model, right? You know something about everything, the horizontal, but one you go in deep. So that's why we say T model of learning in immersive. Okay. Rajab, hope that answers your question. Any other questions, guys? I know it gets pulled. It's already 9:25. Okay. Any other questions, queries? Any other questions? Oh my God, my water bottle also I ran away. I've been drinking so much of water. Any other questions, queries? Okay. Yeah, thank you for this active session, sir. It's really cleared so many doubts which I had. Says Pooja, great Pooja. Okay. In the meantime, I want to hear others also. How did you find this webinar? Did it help you? Any feedback? Any feedback from you guys? How did you find this webinar? Date for embedded and IoT online course. I think embedded online I already shared. Shah, okay, पीछे जाता एक बार. See, embedded online वाला दोनों है. For example, you see, right? Online morning as well as for online evening, both are there. IoT online, as I told, we are not doing that frequently. Just watch out for our website, you'll get it. Okay. Subhranshu is telling, thank you, sir. Welcome, Subhranshu. Thank you for asking so many interesting questions. Any other feedback? How did you find this webinar? Did it help you? At least clarified something, right? No, I know a lot of questions, right? That's what I enjoy. Any other feedback? How did you find this webinar? Any other questions? Very informative, says Anjaneya. Thank you, Anjaneya. Thanks for sharing your valuable information. Good night, sir, says Shankar. Thank you, Shankar. Thank you for asking so many questions. I think if you do a poll who asks most questions, I think you will be one of them. Can we, if we have currently backlog, can we join now, or should we clear that before joining? See, Manoj, so what I suggest is, you join, you clear it, then apply for placements. Because when you're applying for the placements, companies expect you to complete all the papers. Hope it's clear, right? Because even in current batches also we tell the same thing. Okay. But don't delay joining, because delaying joining will again create more problems. It will be alone in your native extra. Join, clear the exams, and then you start applying. Okay. Manoj, right? Module topics I think already explained, right? Linux systems, C, C++, microcontrollers, Linux internals, and embedded Linux, right? That's the major set of modules that we have. Alekia. Cleared all my doubts about the current situation, says Thompson. Very important, especially these days, right? Where a lot of rumors going around, right? A lot of media news getting covered about recession, layoff, etc. It's important to stay focused, right? Always think what is under our control. Definitely, recession is not our control. Even big prime ministers and presidents cannot control, right? Okay, it's a global phenomenon. Okay, we cannot control. What you can control, skilling is in your control. Improving your skill set is your control. Focus on that. As I said, this is my 4th recession. One common thing about all the 4 recessions is skill building. And one more point before I close, right? We discussed length and breadth about embedded systems, right? We even touched upon other domains also, right? So my request to all of you, my humble request to all of you is that I'm telling you, right? Don't go to any domain just because somebody is telling. See, for example, we discuss a lot about embedded system, right? Don't come to embedded just because I'm saying or we discussed at length, right? Go explore everything. Okay, and you are the career, because you are going to build next 30-40 years, not me. My career is half career is over, right? 23 years I already spent, right? And I know I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm very happy with this, right? So I can do it. But for you guys, right, you're going to build for next 30-40 years. Do some good research and you take the decision. So my request is, you are the boss when it comes to your career. Who is the decision maker for your career? Not me, not your cousin who is working in some company, not your father, not your uncle, nobody. It's you. So please take that responsibility. Whatever domain you choose, as I already said, right? Know something about everything. Go deep. Definitely you can build career in any domain. Okay. So that should be the approach. Silver bullet, I say, right? Just because you attended a webinar on embedded doesn't mean that tomorrow you need to come to embedded, right? Choose what is best for you. Okay. I'm currently studying BTech 3rd year. I'm from EC background. Can I join the course early? Yes, Alekia, I already clarified. You can join. Okay, you can join. I already clarified your question, right? Okay, I think that's it, guys. As a senior person to you, all of you, right, and also being a mentor for the session. Thank you very much for your patience. It's not easy to sit for almost 2.5 years, 2.5 hours, right? So I wish you all the very best. Whatever you choose, right? It is, you are the boss. You are the decision maker. Choose the right path, right? And all of you will do very well. Gen Z kids are very, very smart, very, very capable. It's just a matter of having the focus. Your generation, only problem is you have too many options. You will get confused, right? You choose one, go in depth. All of you will do very well. So on behalf of Team Emertxe, and you being your senior and a mentor, right? I wish you all the very best for your career. Take care. The recording will reach you in a few days. Watch out for that. If you still have questions, talk to our counselors. Okay, they'll be able to help you. Take care. Bye.